If you smell, give me just a second. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good evening. I would like to welcome each and every one of you lovely, wonderful people to the den. I hope that you are doing well. It is Monday evening and haven't seen you in a couple of days, so I hope everybody's all right. I hope that life is treating you good. I hope that things are going swimmingly in your life. And if it's not, then I pray that things get better for you very soon. Okay. So again, the fact that you're here, I'm happy. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that all of you, are here. And everybody who's not, I guess I wouldn't know, right? So it's kind of weird. Um, I don't, I'm not going to get to that. But I'm going to talk about the struggle, right? And if you don't know, this is the Den where we discuss everything normally. The Den Show. I don't even know if that was definitely not the original name. I've been just finessing it. But we'll talk about the struggle. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. And as always, it truly is an honor. It truly is a privilege. But more than anything, it is my pleasure to eat this fucking bluebell, right? Because it's the best ice cream in the fucking country. They should pay me for this shit, but I'm pretty sure, like, without the shit I'd be on, you probably don't go with their bread. Like, what? We don't want to pay this nigga. This guy's ridiculous. Look at the shit he's talking about. He's doing all kind of absurd stuff. We can't associate this Nero with our ice cream. Hell no. Anyway, but no, it's my pleasure to get to talk to each and every one of you lovely, wonderful people every evening that we do go live, man. It feels good to be back in the groove of things. Um, it keeps me busy. Definitely, no, I'm actually definitely glad I transitioned to this job, and there's just no way I'd have been able to do it at the other job I was working. But it feels good getting the sauce back going, getting the den back going. Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole right now. Right. Let's see who we got joining us. We're going to talk about struggling. We're going to talk about why people love the struggle. Like that's what it's called, the stars of the struggle. And I'll explain what I mean. And I have a couple of thoughts. I took some notes, kind of took some notes, some thoughts I had. And I'm gonna try to have more organized. No, I'm lying. Tonight I'm gonna have a more organized thought process because tomorrow I'm gonna forget that I even did this shit tonight. Probably not do it. But I'm gonna see how this goes. Right. I'm gonna try to see how the show works with me pre-formulating my thoughts and then addressing them instead of just kind of thinking about a topic and just going willy nilly off my head. Because maybe, just maybe, with a little more structure, I won't ramble as much. That's a lot 'cause I'm doing it now. A little more structure, I won't ramble as much, and we can get some more calls in, right? Well, it's enough ice cream. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna eat some more in like 30 seconds. But anyway, I see the lovely Miss D the Gamma. Always good to see you, ma'am. Let me see. M5. Keep hope alive. The lovely Miss Sarah Lou, aka the Secretary of the Den. Good to see you. Good to see you. Michelle, how are you? The lovely Miss Michelle, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely Miss Bell Northside. That's NAWF side. If you're from Houston, you get it. If you're not from Houston, you're not gonna get it. I was thinking about doing something. I'm gonna start teaching y'all some some South Texas slang, right? Or how we pronounce things in the greater Houston area. I might start doing that. And I say South Texas because people in Texas and Houston, Texas, don't talk like people in Dallas, Oklahoma. So, there's that. Heidi, Heidi's here. So there's that. Shout out to my boy Celise. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Where we at? Let's see, let's see, let's see. The lovely Miss K Grace. And I ain't missing nobody. If I missed you, I ain't this you. And Heidi's a terrible person. Um, so Delta Echo Golf, Roger Charlie in the building. Oh, Roger's here. There's that. And while we're talking about that, actually, good shout out to Delta Echo Golf for being a community starter. What is y'all's favorite ice cream? Y'all drop that in the chat. I'm gonna eat me like 2 more bites of this shit, and then you know, excuse me, looking back. Give me like 2 more bites of this. Y'all put y'all's favorite ice cream in the chat. Heidi, black people travel from Houston to Dallas quite often, right? Uh, they do. They do go to casinos a whole lot, right? So they're definitely bound to see a couple of Buckies along the way, and black people love Buckies. Niggas love Buckies, right? Like that might be the only time I've seen a nigga give a non-black vicinity credit for a barbecue sandwich. Now I heard 2 more. There's way more than two. Let me drink some water. All right. Well, y'all drop that down there. Dallas, what? Michelle, let me tell you, y'all have multiple. Y'all ain't got no fucking HEBs. Y'all are not part of Texas. You don't have a Bucky's and you don't have a HEB. What? Y'all don't even have a fucking football team. You got a football team called the Dallas Cowboys and then fucking Arlington. Like, what? What is right about the city of Dallas? There's nothing. Best rapper ever come out of Dallas? Erica fucking Badu. She ain't even a fucking rapper. Right? There is nothing. Roger, go get some glad nigga. I'm eating ice cream, Bluebell ice cream out of a Bluebell fucking container. You talking about some noodles out of a butter bowl? Look, you country crock, get the hell on. Give me just a second. I'm gonna put this ice cream up for a melt. I'll be real pissed off. All right. Party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. All right, cool. Excuse me. Oh. All right, so let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about struggling. Let's talk about the struggle, right? You gotta pardon me. Let's talk about the struggle. Let's talk about coming up rough. Let's talk about coming out hard. Why is it that people, and actually, let's not say people, people who have it rough tend to value people who come from nothing, right? Or give more credit to people who are struggling than people who have been born into poverty than people who might not have been born into poverty, right? So when I say this, like kids who are born into wealth are automatically discredited as soft, and they don't go through anything, they don't deal with anything, they're automatically you know labeled a certain way. They didn't have to go to bed without food. Shame on them for not ever having to suffer, right? Why do certain groups of us in this country, certain people, why do we associate struggling as a badge of honor, right? And I say this because part of this conversation was based on a post. Shout out that Big B put in the chat last night, right? Or in the Discord, and it was of someone, and I'm not going to post or anything like that, but basically the gist of it was that this person was bragging about how hard he had it coming up and how the refrigerator, well, I'm trying to quote some of the things that was said, was a cooler and some just things, some just basically some very impoverished situations, right? And in the commentary, or not the comment, in the post, he also says that, yeah, I could have went and lived with my dad, but I wasn't going to leave my mom in those conditions, right? And I don't know the response under it. I didn't see the actual post itself, right? But I guarantee I know why, right? Yeah, we romanticize it. I definitely understand. You went through pain and turmoil together and mental illness and permanent mental emotional damage because you had to keep the struggle alive. I had to be this story, right? But I'm pretty sure people commended him on what he did, right? But in reality, it probably would have been smarter to go live with your dad because it may have been less of a burden, whatever burden it may have been on your mother to have if she was already struggling with all of whatever existing. Um, it might have been a better option for you to go live with your dad. Like when you really think about it. Oh, oh, what? Hold on. Let me see what did Broderick do. Let me see. Well, let me shame Broderick. I always take an opportunity to what? You're not gonna shame Costco. All right, not Bucky's. Uh, cookies and cream. Oh, Michelle, what a copycat. What a copycat. Let me see. What did Broderick do? Oh, young Ken in the building. My bad, young Ken. I think I may have missed you. Uh, strawberry, strawberry ice cream. Hell no. What is? Oh, mango. I'm about to say mango lemonade sherbet. I'm gonna say I ain't had sherbet in a long time. I remember what was it? Rainbow sherbet. Was that from Baskin Robbins? I think. I want to say it was a Baskin Robbins when I was young. We used to go to. But yeah, she used to always get rainbow sherbet. Need to call my dad, grandma. Probably ain't got a lot of time left. I should give her a holler. It would be a good thing to do. Let's see. You said the Bucky's owner's son is in trouble spying on people. Like spying, like how? Like on some warrior shit? Oh, you about to struggle for real then. Um, Dallas is a great place to get assassinated. Right, exactly. That's the only thing Dallas is known for. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what Chunky Monkey is. What's in Chunky Monkey, right? You know what I'm saying? Heidi, I don't know what happened to you out here in Texas for some reason. You just hating on where you're coming from. Uh, you forgot where you came from. One, how are you doing this evening? Let's see. Uh, yeah, Roderick is a terrible person. Roderick is the worst of people, right? Let me see. J Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? And all right, let me see. Do 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 do. Do do do. All right. So, a couple of thoughts I had. We were talking about struggle, right? And I'm gonna kind of try to see how we can work this somehow, some way. All right, I guess I can put them here. Yeah, I need to. Okay. I think struggling can make you relatable, right? Because there are plenty of people who are struggling or going through things, and for whatever reason, you know, people can relate to it. They feel like you're dealing with problems just like they are, that you're going through the harsh consequences of life the same way they are. So they look at it as it's a connection that you somehow, it makes you relatable. I can understand this person because I go through these things, right? Some people may look at it as a way of, a person who's come up from a struggle had to build character. They had to overcome obstacles, right? They've shown resilience. They had some type of inner strength that, you know, normal people wouldn't have be able to go overcome these type of situations, right? They give what? Oh shit! See, this is why I got to get a new monitor, right? And I apologize. My apologies. Okay, I truly didn't see they had a whole different screen up there. So one, I did not intend to be rude. Thank you, Miss D the Gamma, the lovely Miss D the Gamma. Um, see, so that will definitely be going into the monitor fund because yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've been doing some rearranging, so I'm gonna have to fix the setup because just working off of one monitor is not, or one screen is not good. So one moment, because I have to make sure I see the message so I can properly thank you, and I'll be able to click and flick and do a bunch of stuff. So again, my apologies. Even though if I miss you, I ain't never diss you. Um, well, yeah, well, I'm doing that. It's like a way of building resilience, and that's an inner strength that you've overcome. Some type of obstacle in life that most haven't, or most can't, or whatever it may be. Wouldn't even be in the right account. It's just all sports shit. Um, and so I can understand why it can be viewed as favorably. But why do we automatically discredit those who seem to be more well off? Do they not have their fair share of struggles? Do they not have their own, dilemmas that they've endured? And maybe the reason that they are well off is because of a dilemma that they did endure, a struggle that they had to go through to get there, right? But we automatically assume, especially with the offspring of people who are already born in the wealth, that they don't have their fair share of issues, right? Because think about it. The goal is to always make sure the next generation is better than you are, right? And if your parents did a really shitty job, then they set a bar that's real low for you. So you got to just like make sure your kids survive, and you did better than did better than my parents did. So there's that, right? There's again. Thank you, Ms. Deep again. Got all kind of screens open here. Make sure I see the three question marks and the heart. I'm gonna do like what's the buddy from the Astros opinion with the little how you do it? I can't even do that shit. Let me throw no gang signs. Shit. Thank you, Miss D again. I appreciate the love. All right. Let me click out some screens here so I get back to my notes. Pardon me. Lickety. There we go. All right. Um, right. People automatically see people who have gone through a struggle to overcome some, I guess, maybe as more humble people, right? People that they they understand more, so they again, it's all basically various forms of saying that they can be more relatable, right? Um, let me make sure, right? So think about it. Who do you think makes the better story? Because even when I'm talking about struggling, it's not just poverty. Think about it. Every great hero story, every great quote unquote origin story where somebody becomes there's a struggle involved, right? You have to struggle to grow. That's what we're all taught. You without struggle, there is no progress. But in reality, that could be the furthest thing from the truth, right? Because what's for you should flow relatively smoothly. Uh, Bigly. Oh, you know, Heidi's comments, they embiggen the soul of the most humble man. Um, Pena. Pena. Look, this guy. I told you he's talking South Texas over here. All right, that old Pena. But anyway, but again, it's not. It struggle doesn't have to be a part of the story, right? Um, I believe things that when they are right, like when you're in a state of achieving, a flow state or whatever, things flow smoothly, things go naturally, things happen for you. There's not resistance to, your progress, right? But depending on what it is you are trying to accomplish, maybe they are. Maybe there are some mole hills you have to accomplish. But think about it. If I told you two stories, right? If I told you a story about a guy who wasn't that good at sports, but he trained and he practiced and he worked hard. And I mean, he gave it everything he got. And he got to high school and he tried out for the basketball team and he made a reserve spot on the B team, right? So, like, he didn't make the team, somebody gets hurt, and they call him up, say, okay, hey, well, you can play. Then he shows that he ends up being the best player on that team. They end up moving him up because he's a little better than they thought. And this guy eventually he makes it to varsity, and he hits a game-winning shot, right? And it's the highlight of his career. Or if I tell you the story of a guy who is just this super freak of an athlete, like can't do anything wrong. Every sport is great, just human specimen, right? And this motherfucker just wears any and everybody out. He's just at everything. He's the greatest, right? And he plays basketball and he wins a championship, doing great stuff. Like, which story is more relatable to you, right? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a the story where the guy is like just having to earn his way to the thing, right? So Ned Concho, that's funny. But yeah, like I said, you're gonna be more related to the guy who wasn't that good at something. He worked his way to do it because most Americans think they're good at shit. And they got to work their ways to do shit, right? Uh, well, Heidi, I had to make it relatable to the other Negroes in here, of course, right? Um, so that's my thing. Is like if you've come from nothing, or if you've ever struggled, or you feel you had to work for any kind of success in life, you're gonna relate to the person who's like that, right? But if you've had a life where you didn't really have to necessarily fight for things, things came your way, the things you wanted, but yet you still went out and made your own achievements, right? Is that wrong? Is it bad? Is it bad that I was born into a family that has connections and ties to the most prominent and prestigious schools in America, and I just happened to get in because my dad pulled some strings from his network of work that he put in to be able to pass this on to me? Is that a bad thing? I personally don't think so. I am personally not necessarily against nepotism in the workplace, kind of, right? And I know what I'm saying. Pardon me, I'm trying to pop my back. And I know what I'm saying can be sound kind of off, but like, hear me out. Like, in certain situations, we'll come back to that, whatever, because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole that definitely don't want to come back from. So either way, we make shit relatable. We gravitate towards that. But there's nothing wrong with people who kind of got it easy, right? There's nothing wrong with that. They have a different set of problems that we'll just never, well, we may never know about. We might not deal with. But I don't see anything wrong with a person using the advantages that they have in life to avoid struggling, right? So, like, say we're both on this fucking path to wherever we're going, and we both hit this roadblock, and I have an advantage to overcome this roadblock and keep going, and you sit there, well, I'm gonna do the thing, or you might have the same advantage and you choose not to use it because you're going to be right. When you stay stuck at the roadblock, I'm going to advance. Like, you got one of these lives, right? And you got to maximize that bitch. So, um, it is what it is. Really? Oh yeah, there's a thing going on in the world right now. Right, and I know you're probably like, Huncho, you're not gonna acknowledge the thing that's happening, like that everybody's talking about. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. I don't know, therefore I don't care. Right? So I don't know why we're involved. Don't care why we're involved. And I see, I'm just not a person, like we're talking about struggling right now, right? I'm not a person who's big on going and picking up other people's problems. I used to do that shit. And that shit didn't do anything but leave with me holding that person's problem, right? Even if it did get resolved. So, yeah, yeah, and I agree, and that's kind of my thing. I agree with that, Heidi. Exactly. You're instantly with the big boys, and you're expected to be able to play with the big boys because you have had the advantage of having the in-house experience, right? So that's why stories like what's his name don't really amaze me. It's like your dad grew up in the NBA. You should learn a lot of little tricks and nuances to the game that certain guys wouldn't get until they got to college. Like you should be learning that in elementary. So you should be so far advanced in your game that, it is what it is. So all I'm saying is we got to stop romanticizing struggling. Stop thinking that everything has to have a struggle to have success attached to it. It doesn't have to be that way, right? Um, and for whatever reason, we become enamored with it. But at the same time, it's kind of a lie because you have so many people who are always obsessed with the kings and queens and princes. Like they always care what royalty and other motherfuckers are doing. But they swear that you know they swear that they don't care about that type of shit, but in reality they do. Uh, no, let's see. I'll be honest. Uh, if I got a black doctor and that motherfucker ain't got a strong ass accent, and I ain't talking about Southern, like if I got a black doctor and I don't have to struggle to understand some of the words that's this motherfucker is saying, I'm gonna need me a new doctor, right? So yeah, well, yeah, that's what women always say. Heidi. They say they get on top. Anyway, different conversation. We're talking about struggling. Also, apply. Anyway, so love y'all. Y'all know some tea water on. You go check that. But we're about to open the line up. We're going to talk about struggling. We're talk about why do you think people romanticize struggling? Do you? Forgive me, I'm a little bit tired. Do you value a person who's come up from nothing more than you value a person who's been given a silver spoon? Right? Do you think that people should utilize their unfair advantages? Do you think that people who are born into a position, I hate privilege, who are just in a better position in life than others, do you feel like they should have to share that? Right? So they do, or do they have to give to the lesser than, right? To for whatever reason, should they? So all of that and more when I come back from checking this boiling water that I probably did put on, and I don't want to burn everything down again. I never did the first time, but I don't want to almost burn everything down again. So I'm gonna check that, and we're gonna check all of that. Segundo. What? The Ruskies. My bad. Woo! Feel like Ric Flair. Um, yeah, I feel about this artwork behind me. It's as good as the Good Times picture. Hey, we lucky we got 'em. Mm-mm. Good times. But again, struggle. And let's be honest. Let me get to the real meat and potatoes of the topic. Right? It's black folks. Right? Why do we love to struggle? Why are we enamored with struggling? We love struggle rappers. We love struggle stories. I mean, think about Tubi Tuesdays. Which is tomorrow. We need to pick a movie for Tubi Tuesday, right? We need to come up with a movie for Tubi Tuesday. So tonight in the Discord, we'll take suggestions. Broderick picked the last movie, right? And I think it's only fair. We should either do it like popcorn, or it has to be somebody who was at the last Tubi Tuesday gets to pick the next one. I feel like popcorn should be the best method. So like Broderick maybe gets to pick who picks the next movie. So that way it ain't a lot of fights. So everybody kind of has a movie that they contributed to Tubi Tuesday. And so, when we talk about this in the future, we're like, well, shit, you picked that movie. You picked the bullshit. Roger picked the movie last time and fell asleep on the motherfucker. We trying to watch the end of the movie, plot twist and everything. Plot twist is broadcast and fell asleep in the Discord. That was the real plot twist of the damn movie. So, you know what I'm saying? There's that. But see, Josh, J Mail in here, in here trying to be the bigger person and everything. I don't know what he on. Uh, so let me see. Oh, I put the ice cream. So here's the thing, right? So let's talk about the tea while I'm opening the line up. Let's talk about the tea, like the real tea, not like, oh, I'm finna spill some tea, honey. No, it's real, the actual tea. That one, I didn't know I like. So I go to the store. It's like a weird thing about me. Um, I think I got a tea fetish. I don't know. I'm just saying something stupid, but I like tea. I like hot teas, right? Um, and I didn't realize that I've bought a bunch of different little types of boxes of tea, and a bunch of them I hadn't even opened or even got into. And so I just realized I had like a berry sampler pack. I've had some real fancy teas too. They're actually really good. Like the little bag that you put them in. They're so fan. I want to hang them up and shit. I make some good decorations. They got like real herbs and flowers and shit. That shit look like dandelions. But anyway, um, but yeah, I like teas, and so I just discovered I had like this little berry pack, and so I've been fucking with some of them. But anyway, I say I'll let to say that I had the water on the stove. The water was on the stove, but I did not. I didn't cut it on. Right, I didn't cut it on. But like I'm saying, it's us. We do it. We the ones black folks. We romanticize the struggle, but it gives an excuse too. It gives us an excuse to fail. It gives people an excuse to fail because you can always blame the struggle or the difficulties. I couldn't make it because, this or that or this or that. But then what happens is that one person comes along and does it despite all of the same struggles and obstacles that you claim prevented you from doing it. Now what's your excuse? Now your excuse is I have no excuse, but now we start, calling this person names or, you know, devaluing what it is they accomplished or they had to have had, this, that, and the third. But the thing is, we as people we do some stupid shit because we focus on how it got done more than the fact that it got done, right? Especially if it got done efficiently, if it got done effectively, we care more about who did it and how they did it versus did it get done. So, um, Kill Token, I didn't see, like, I like, I hardly watch stuff. Like, this year may have been the most television viewing I've done. Long time, right? And that's only like 3 or 4 episodes in on shit. Like I don't finish series. I don't finish like I just TV is tough. TV is tough to do, right? I don't see how y'all be doing it. Like football, that's one thing. Sports is one thing, but like I want to sit here and watch this series that has like 20 something episodes in the fucking thing, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that today. Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Really, the stove doesn't work before the stream. Yeah, I gotta click live on the button for the rest of the equipment in the household to activate. So I can only cook while I'm streaming. But anyway, I said all that. I just put the water on. Yeah. So again, romanticizing this shit, it's fucking dumb, right? It really is. But we do what we do. What? This butterfly pea tea. Chill out. What's the motherfucking deal? Um, well, you already said you get to pick it. I don't recall you saying it. When did you state that? Does anybody, and don't be in the back trying to send DMs in the Discord to your cohorts and co-conspirators. Uh, does anybody honestly recall Michelle getting dibs on the next To Be Tuesday? Depending on how long it takes to receive a genuine response to this, will determine whether or not. Hmm. I don't know. See, when your fellow white woman doesn't sign with you, I don't know. Y'all claim I trust white women more than everybody in here, so I might have to go with Miss Bell's words. All right, all right. None of my buddies are. You got people out there rooting for you for whatever reason. Y'all are rooting for. But anyway, all right. Well, we'll let Michelle have To Be Tuesday. This should be interesting. So we'll let Michelle will be picking To Be Tuesday. So if it's terrible, then we get to blame Michelle. If it's good, then I'm going to take credit for it. So give me a second. Let me open up the line, and we're going to talk about struggling. I'm going to talk about how I struggled to open up the line. Right, like Hunter, you said, you was going to open up the line 32 minutes ago, my boy. You still ain't open that bitch up, and you going to open that bitch up, my boy. But I kind of want to get back to that other point too, because there are like some points I wanted to make, but I kind of been wandering off. When I was talking earlier about the young man sticking with the mom, like that's also a thing too. That like a good mother should say if she knows that the dad is in a better situation and is willing to take care of the children, a sensible mom should say, "Hey, I'm not in a position to put these kids where they need to be to treat them how they need to be treated. I need to let them go and be with their dad, or I need to let them go and be with his dad." But a lot of times women are too prideful. They don't want to be seen. They would rather be seen struggling with kids in tow because that's going to get that extra sympathy or the extra benefits or whatever than say, okay, hey, you know, this kid's father is willing to take them. I'm not where I need to be, even with assistance or whatever else. I got some issues that need to be handled. Let me let them go with their dad. Let me get myself together because the thing about it is, those kids will not hurt from gaining that time with their father. And as a mother, your kids are always gonna like you could be a dope fiend, mama. You always be my hope queen, mama. But anyway, like shit, you can be a crack addict, right? And you still world's number one mom. It is what it is. Like, but a lot of times you'll see women, they'll use these kids and they'll go be going downhill, knowing they're going downhill, knowing they got issues, and they'll take the children downhill with them. We've talked about multiple stories where women have hopped on the freeway with all their kids in the car, only to be going the wrong way down the freeway deliberately because they're dealing with issues that they can't handle the struggle of dealing with all those kids, and they ultimately end up in a conclusion that we don't want to see anybody in, right? So we got to stop romanticizing the struggle of the single mom too, like the struggling single mother. Like we got to stop glorifying that shit, and that's what we do. Like, and that makes young men with decisions like that because I don't want to leave my mom in them conditions. It's not your job as a child. We do that a lot, especially with young black men. This is where we got it all fucked up. We don't raise them to be men, but then there's a point where we expect them to just be men, right? Or do manly responsibilities. So they're going to do it in a different type of way, right? So you don't ever get the opportunity to know what it is to become a man and you're expected to become that. You don't have a foundation for it. You don't have anything. So again, which leads to you doing shit you ain't got no business, which leads to jail, which leads to more struggles. Now you got something on your record. It's going to be difficult to do other things. It's going to be more struggles. So all this stuff that we romanticize and we glamorize, there's a lot of us who have put ourselves into the self-fulfilling prophecy of it all, you know, and so it is what it is. Now, there's that. Yeah, don't call that Denline number. That's the old automated thing. Let me jot that down in my notes. I just had to jot down a couple things I need to make sure I start fixing a little bit of something every day. I need to stop trying to do everything in one day, but just if I can knock out 5 or 6 things a day, just little stuff here and there, depending on what it is, then we make some good motion. So, that's funny. I just thought of something real funny. It wouldn't make sense to explain to y'all, but to me, it's fucking hilarious. I've said about the line like 3 times. I still ain't about the number, right? So let me do that. So that's what happened when I ramble on. Do you believe? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Well, it's Bell, and the deal is you need to get the right number so everybody can call.
Don't follow the number in the chat. That's automated. See, you got to get it from the den. Don't get it from Ed Honcho. He doesn't know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
I already knew that, so we're good. Hold on a second. Okay. What's the question for tonight?
We're talking about struggling. We're talking about
Shoot, don't we all do it?
why do we uh do we? Miss Bell,
I think
what do you know about struggles, Miss Bell? You're a white lady. White women don't struggle.
shit, yes they do. They know about food stamps. They know about AFDC. They know about shit, dealing with child support, dealing with bills, everyday struggles of making sure which one's going to be, staying on this month, gas or electric or phone.
Which one of those three is the most important?
Probably electric because I don't have gas, and I could care less whether I had the phone most of the time.
But what if you have a gas emergency and you can't call anybody?
Gas emergency is not a problem because I don't have gas in my building.
Or if you have an electric emergency, what if like an electrical spark fire happens and you can't call 911?
Shit, you run to the neighbors and say call 911 because it'll affect their place too.
What if you got really shitty neighbors?
Well, it doesn't matter. You're doing a service. You're letting them know that their property is possibly going to be up in smoke, and you're also doing your thing. Twofer.
What if your neighbors like party animals and they're not even home when you go to tell them they're like out partying somewhere?
Then you go to the next neighbor.
And that
you don't give up till you get it done when it comes to a fire.
When you stay in there too long, you're gonna burn down, Miss Bill. You can't try to save everybody. You just gotta get up out of there. Okay. So we're talking about struggling, and we're talking about why people romanticize struggling. Do you think that people who struggle have more character than people who were born with a silver spoon?
Okay, I know you hate when I say this, but I really think it's individual. I think struggle is an individual environmental situation because being poor sucks. But sometimes, honestly, the less I had financially, the more I didn't have a lot of responsibility because it was like you can only pay so much and it only goes so far. But if you've got all the money in the world or you're wealthy, it's like you have all these responsibilities and everything else that comes attached to it. Now, is it a burden? No. Is it a responsibility? Yes. Is it a burden to be poor? Yeah, it sucks because you don't have enough for sometimes just meeting the needs. But I don't know which is worse, having it all, losing it, and then trying to come back up, or starting from the bottom up and working your way up slowly. There's different struggles for different people.
I mean, like, what if you've, had it all, you built a network, and then you lost it all, you just use the network to bounce back up, as opposed to not having a network and having to, build it all from scratch.
Been there, done that. I moved across country and started over with a suitcase until I had everything brought to me.
What inspired that move?
I needed a fresh start. I needed to just kind of wipe off the town I grew up in and actually look at the planet and let that become a small town.
So what made you pick the destination you chose?
I had a friend that lived there at the time, and we were roommates for several months until I got my own place.
So you said that you understand, or that white women do understand the struggle of, food stamps and deciding on which bill to pay and, things like this. Do you think that situations like this are good for children to grow up in and see? Does that give them a better understanding of life than a child who has had a smooth childhood growing up?
I'll put it this way. When we were growing up, I didn't know what poor kind of really was. I knew that we made enough money that we didn't get free lunch at school, but did we get to do everything we wanted? No. And I remember because my grandparents had a farm, they used to get a lot of government issue things like the yellow cheese and the butter and different things. And so it helped them through their struggling moments and different things like that. But we didn't really know that we were poor because the fact is that they were kind and loving and they made it work. And when it's a struggle is when there is toxicity involved in the family. And that's what makes it hard to get through some of those situations, or it makes it harder and added on top of.
I'm
I
just
mean, I'm not saying being poor is wonderful because it's not, but the thing is we got our needs met. There was a roof over our head, there were clothes on our backs, there was food on the table. Did we always like it? No. I'm not a big fan of liver and onions, but you know, you
you
do
don't
what
like
your
liver
parents taught you.
onions?
Yeah, I'm just not.
I see, Miss Bell.
Not
I
so much.
never thought it. I never thought it'd be you, but you sounding real bougie right now.
No, I just not a fan of it. I mean, my
What?
grandmother gave it to us, and it was always she always told us it was steak, and then when we ate real steak, it just never tasted the same.
So okay, the government cheese. I agree. Ty Baker definitely understand that.
It has the
I
best macaroni and cheese and grilled cheese sandwiches you'll ever have.
um.
The one I couldn't deal with is the powdered milk.
Oh well, hey, you gotta get what you can get.
And the
But
how she got around that is she bought 1 gallon of whole milk, made 1 gallon of powdered milk, and then she had a gallon of each and mixed it up. So you make do.
he's cutting milk,
Yep.
cutting milk like Coke. Okay. So okay, but that's and so do you feel like we talking about children growing up in that? Do you think that being able to grow up or see these things, do you think that gave you a better worldview than maybe somebody who didn't experience that?
Being at my grandparents on the farm was a lot, I want to say a cleaner life because there wasn't a whole lot of TV. I mean, my granddad watched it at 6 o'clock. That might have been a 7 o'clock show, and we kids were in bed by 8 o'clock because they were up at 5 in the morning running the farm. So there wasn't a whole lot of that kind of stuff. My grandmother taught me to crochet and knit and sew and do all those kind of things. And that was awesome, like contact. But were they wealthy? Oh, by no means. Did they struggle? Absolutely. But 99% of it was a loving home, and that made a huge difference.
Miss Bell,
A lot of people can forgive things that are loving.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. What was your favorite? Well, okay, I'm gonna give you a moment to think about this. So I need to check my tea. Um, and then the folks in the chat, you can answer this as well, and I'll come back and check the answers when I return. If you have ever had to struggle at any point in time in your life, you've had to consume what some of us like to call a struggle meal, which means
Mm-mm.
it is a meal that you normally would not consume under any other circumstances that you have the compatible finances not to consume. But when you don't have such a privilege, you will consume this particular meal. So I'm going to ask Miss Bell and everybody else, and like I said, I'll check the answers when I return. What is your favorite or was your favorite struggle meal? And like I said, I'll check
Struggle
that.
meal?
Yep, give me one
Oh,
second,
I
Miss
got
Bell.
that.
And I'm
That's not hard. Go check your tea.
that's not what she said. One moment, y'all. Oh, y'all didn't. That was world class phrasing right there. Y'all don't understand the tiers of phrasing that just took place. Um, that was golden. Y'all missed that one. Shame on each and every one of you guys. Blickety. All right, sorry for that.
Oh,
I
that was
checked
some
it
good
to you.
jazz background while I
Uh,
was waiting. That was kind of nice.
I have no idea what kind of music is being played back there. So there's that. Um, yeah, my fault. I apologize. Pause again. Okay. Struggle meal. Yeah. If you had a
I'd
chance
have
to
to
go there.
say one of two, probably ramen noodles and bologna sandwiches.
Ramen noodles and bologna. So let's talk about something real quick. So I have this thing that I've come up with a long time ago, and I call that the the noodle index, right? And the noodle index
Mhm.
is a economic measurement standard, right? And you're like, well, what do you
Mhm.
mean? How so this is the economic measurement standard? Well, the noodle index gauges the level of the economy at the current time. And you ask, well, how does the noodle index work, Honcho? I need to know these things. Well, the noodle index works by you going to your local grocery store and going on the noodle aisle and seeing how many noodles you can get for $1. It is it no, it's serious, right? No, it's really
Yep.
serious.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Because this is for the first time in my life I've ever seen it where you cannot get 3 packs of noodles for a fucking dollar. Like they're
Wow.
35 cents a fucking thing for noodles. Packs of that's fucking prison prices. That's penitentiary prices. Like you you used to get like a fucking box. You used to get like 5 or 6 for $1.
Yep.
Now you can't even get 3. It's gonna cost you
Mhm.
about $1.20. Anyway, so the noodle index determines the current state of the economy. We're in the shitter right now. So that has nothing to do with
Mhm.
anything, but you mentioned ramen noodles and bologna sandwiches. So what is it about the bologna that you like?
It was just something that I had a choice of that or tuna fish sandwiches, and I didn't care for tuna fish as a kid. Now as an adult, I'm fine with it.
Oh, no, the fucking tuna fish sandwiches. Yeah, I love tuna fish
Just
sandwiches.
not big on it. I mean, so I would have bologna,
That's bologna.
mustard, and cheese if cheese was available. Sometimes that wasn't available.
Okay.
There was always
Uh,
a piece of fruit.
you said okay. You said it was a lot of piece of fruit. No. Um, I'm, I don't, I'm trying to think if I have any other struggling inquiries to present. Um,
Now,
would you
probably
care for,
as
I'm sorry,
good.
would you value a leader who has come from nothing, or would you value a leader who has always been well off?
I'd hope to think that their personal gain to the job has nothing to do without the work that they put in to get it. What I'm saying is you can have two people. Yes, somebody might have been affluent and been able to financially sail through school. It doesn't mean they didn't struggle with their grades. The other person might have been an A student, but financially struggled to get through school, or sailed through school with their grades, but financially was messed up. Each one has their own struggle of trying to get where they are. Now, if the boss reminded me constantly that he had far and above more money than I did, yeah, I would think that's a shitty boss. But if I had also
That's
had a
okay.
boss that came ranking down on me because, oh, well, I struggled, you should be able to do it, setting the bar to the point of being ridiculous, then it depends on the management skills. It really doesn't, I don't think part of that has to do with how they treat their employees, or shouldn't be a part of how they treat their employees.
Have you ever had a boss that flaunted their financial status in front of you?
Yep. And I've had bosses that didn't even know until a few years later that they were millionaires. They were just very
Son of
low
a
key.
bitch. God damn it. I forgot to go buy a damn lottery ticket. I should mention it. Didn't even think about it. Well, there's that. McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Patricia K, Todd Baker. Chill out, you already got some love earlier. I miss somebody else.
McBias, haven't seen him in a while.
McVice, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Makes me think of that fucking episode of Dave Chappelle where the fucking the little STD puppets came out. Like, hey Dave, haven't seen you in a while. I think it was the crabs or the chlamydia thing. That shit was fun. Brandon Anderson, what's the motherfucking deal? And if I missed you, I ain't this year. All right. But yeah, so I mean, different people are gonna have different types of struggles. But
Absolutely.
can one struggle be more difficult than the other?
The only way I can answer this is honestly. To me, everybody is in the middle of their own situation. Some people have it worse, some people have it better. The only valid struggle is the one that we go through. Now, disvalidating somebody else because you don't feel as though they're worthy of it, that's a shitty thing to do. But because we're not always able to walk in another person's shoe per se, and understand all of where they're coming from and why they're going through the shit that they're going through. You know, when I was growing up, there were people that went through some really hard-ass shit that I would never have dealt with at the age that I was. And then there was some life things that happened to me that, I lost my dad, as you all know, at a very young age. And now a lot of my friends who are in their 50s and 60s are starting to lose their parents. I've already been there and done that. I already had that hard struggle. And I empathize with my, fellow classmates and friends who are losing their parents because I've already worked through that hardship and that struggle. Was it sucky at the time because nobody really understood at my age because their parents were still there? Yeah. Did they probably feel sorry for me? Probably. Maybe not. I don't know. But they could have been going through different things. So it just depends on the level of experience of circumstances per person. It's not to undermine what I went through, and it's not to minimize what somebody else goes through. It's all valid depending on your life experience. I started on a new journey after my husband died. Not that everything was crashing around me and I was starting all over, but I was. I'm a survivor. I'm not a victim.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. You like that song?
Huh?
Do you like that song?
It's not bad. I like Gloria Gaynor's better, but.
So you're saying that Gloria Gaynor is better than Beyonce?
No, I'm just saying I like older school.
What's the
It's
oldest
just
school
preference
you
difference.
like?
Gloria Gaynor's fine.
That's the oldest school you listen to?
That's not the only older school. Yeah, I can name a bunch of different genres of older stuff.
I mean, like, what is the oldest? Like Beethoven?
The oldest thing I've listened to probably would be Louis Armstrong or Glenn Miller Band or my brain's just not functioning tonight. Ella Fitzgerald, Scat Scruthers. Gosh, there's even more, but I can't think right now. 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. I don't care for twangy country music at all.
What?
Nope.
Why don't you like country music?
I don't mind banjo, but I don't like it like where it's real twangy and like real just there's a thing called two country as far as I'm concerned, but I don't mind bluegrass music.
So wait, what is two country? If bluegrass isn't two country, what is two country?
When it gets real high pitched and twangy.
Twang? Like the stuff you used to put on pickles, like the little green packs that you used to rip up and put on like the
Kind
pickles.
of, yeah. Smart ass, yeah. No, it's just real pitchy.
Could you give me an example of like a country song you don't like?
I have no idea because I don't listen to. I mean, I like general pop country now, but like Shania Twain and Tim McGraw and I don't know, Jimmy Buffett.
Those are people you like?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Shania Twain song?
What's my what?
What is your favorite Shania Twain song?
I think it's called Is This It?
What is that about? I don't think I've ever heard that.
It's basically about this is it. I finally made it kind of thing. I don't know. I can't even think tonight. But yeah, it's not probably my favorite. Jimmy Buffett's probably my favorite of the country.
This is it. No. I don't know the song. But anyway, okay.
Margaritaville.
You drink margaritas?
Cheeseburger in paradise. Huh?
I said you cheeseburger in paradise.
Yep. Pencil thin mustache. Changes in attitude, changes in latitude.
There was a South Park episode dedicated to Mr. Buffett a while back. It was pretty funny. So that's why I'm laughing. That's what it makes me think of. Okay. Okay, that's very interesting. I could see you with a margarita listening to some Margaritaville.
For years, James Taylor was one of my favorites. Carly Simon. Aerosmith. The Doors. Pink Floyd. Bad Company. I mean, I like a very
I ain't talking about
genre.
my generation. I'll tell you that's too new school for you, Miss Bay. You're talking about my generation, I think.
That was our parents' generation as well. Jimi Hendrix was good too. Yep. One of the best guitarists in the world. Janis Joplin was probably another favorite.
It's not pumpkin spice, you terrible people. It is ginger turmeric, something like that. Something of those. Some kind of.
I've probably heard Tupac, but not known who he was. Probably the only song, as far as rap goes, that I really remember is "Gangster's Paradise," and that was like a long time ago.
What about Uncle Luke? Do you like Uncle Luke's music?
What is it?
Uncle Luke.
I have no idea who he is.
He's kind of he's a bit older rapper. I would say kind of late '80s, early '90s, maybe somewhere around that time.
Now I do remember when. Oops, sorry. I was going to say, I do remember when Aerosmith and DMC did a collab.
You like Run DMC music?
Didn't really know too much of it because I was listening to Aerosmith, and so when it did the crossover, it kind of introduced it, but not so much, not so bad. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've probably heard and just not known it.
I would recommend you listening to some Uncle Luke. I think you would like that. That seems to be maybe more your speed. So if you ever get a chance, just pull up some Uncle Luke on YouTube or wherever you like to watch videos.
Spotify's pretty good.
Oh, Spotify. You got Spotify. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely pull up Uncle Luke on Spotify. I think you'll like just to get you into some type of rap that you can enjoy. It's not quite Pound Town. I know you like Pound Town. You know, I know that what you were jamming that. I know you probably been listening to it when you're not in the Discord, but I think you'll definitely enjoy some of it.
I might as well give you one more shocker. I didn't know who Eminem really was until I actually saw the movie 8 Mile.
Really?
Because I could never understand how he came across with such a urban attitude and such a hard way.
You
And I know
felt
it wasn't probably all biopic, but they did a pretty good job representing it.
you feel like Eminem has an urban attitude to you?
I think because he grew up in the city, yeah, he does. It's the environment that we grow up in, not necessarily who we are as the color of our skin. It's how we're influenced.
I agree with that. Your environment can definitely influence your outcome. We have definitely deviated way off track. That's my
Oh
fault.
yeah,
I'll take that one. I'll definitely take the fault for that. But Miss Bell,
sure.
any other thoughts on struggling and people who choose to romanticize struggling?
I think that's when they're doing the most damage to themselves. Is when they romanticize it and just let it be what it is and try to work towards the next goal of making success after success. You know, people fail all the time, but it's how many times you keep getting back up that's going to be the reminder of how forward you'll go. You
Okay.
know, because you can be a complete failure, lay on the floor, have a temper tantrum, and nobody's going to do jack shit. But if you dust yourself off and you keep walking and doing what you got to do, you go on to the next thing.
How
That's
much you
being a
said is
survivor. That's not being a victim.
it? I can agree with that. Um, yeah, you gotta dust yourself out. You gotta keep trucking. So, uh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's all I got tonight.
All right, Miss Bell. Well, I definitely appreciate you calling in and getting the conversation going in the den this evening.
P.S. You might want to check your phone line number, even though we know that it's glitchy sometimes.
They'll figure it out. Call one of them, it don't work. Try the other one.
All right. Good night.
Shout out to Miss Bell. We're getting the conversation started tonight. So, all right, I kind of, I won't say I got some bad news, but we might. Let me do this. Somebody is calling in. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? I am extremely tired, and I think we may have to have a short stream. See, because well, this ringing thing is done. Let me turn that off. So my apologies to whoever is calling in at the time. 'Cause I think there's a couple of calls coming in. Look, I can't give my speech without the thing going off. All right. Yeah, so I think I might have to call it a wrap tonight, right? Because I'm trying. I was actually tired before the stream, and I didn't get a chance to power nap like I wanted to. So this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna slide a Discord. I've probably been there for like 5 nights. I'm gonna fuck around and tap out, because I have been burning the midnight oil this weekend, trying to get some things done. So my apologies, because I try to give y'all 2 hours at least every evening, and I would say we'll say 40. We'll call it 35-minute shorts. No, I wish I was trying to drink the treat to try to to try to wake up a little bit to try to I didn't want to drink nothing like super caffeinated because I didn't want to be up all fucking night. But I figured like maybe something hot would kind of maybe I don't even have any sleepy time too. I wish I did. I was figuring something hot would kind of maybe stimulate the blood flow. But yeah, I am tired. I ain't gonna. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it up to y'all. We're gonna call it I owe y'all 35 minutes, right? So tomorrow I mean y'all will get it. Y'all know we're gonna end up going overtime at some point this week. But y'all will get at least the guaranteed extra 15 to say tomorrow and tomorrow Tuesday, tomorrow Wednesday. Um yeah, yeah, tomorrow Wednesday. So again, my apologies. Been a lot of stuff. And so there's that. But um yeah, that's it. Again, I am pretty freaking tired. But so my apologies, y'all. Discord. I'm gonna drop the link in the thing. I think I got the link in there already. And yeah, because it would be a disservice to take any more calls because I'm not gonna be somebody's calling right now. Right. And I would really take this call. I really do want to take this call. But I'm telling you, I am barely making it right now. So the person who is calling on the phone right now, right, who just called, get your ass in the Discord, right? Because I'm really honestly, like I said, I would, but I really feel like it's gonna get to the point it'll be very disrespectful to take the calls because I know I'm tired. I'm not gonna be able to give you the full attention like I want to. So yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful and like I say, because I feel like your time is valuable. So you calling in to share your thoughts with me, and I'm kind of that's extremely disrespectful. So I'm not gonna do that. No, but the person who is calling in, who just called in, that's the Discord link. Have your ass in that Discord because yeah, get your ass in the Discord. Y'all be in there now. I will because the person who just called in just called in. I'm a I'm gonna be in the Discord. I'm gonna stay up a little bit. I said I was only gonna be in there for a few minutes, but I'll get in the Discord. You get in the Discord. I'm gonna get in there, and I'll be waiting for this person. I'm gonna try to thug it out as long as I can. Maybe put something in the air fryer if I doze off. Maybe the food beep will wake me up. So I'm a fat ass. Um, but yeah, honestly, I would take the call. I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't want to be disrespectful and be yeah. So I don't want to tell y'all who it is because it's somebody who ain't been in here in a minute, and I want it to be a surprise, right? And I want it to be a surprise for the Den folk because it's somebody um, who we have not talked to in quite some time, right? And it's somebody I know people have been inquiring about, and so I'm pleading with this person to make sure they in the Discord. I think it would make many people very, need I say, happy, but pleased at the least to hear from this person. I can't answer. I'm finna go to bed. Anyway, Discord. Link is in the thing already. Yeah. So that being said, please make sure y'all in the thing. Let me pin the Discord link to the top. Well, I'm gonna produce. I'll be in the Discord like right now. Make me some stuff. I don't know what I'm putting in the air fryer. I'm trying to thug it out, but we don't even know what the Discord thing is. All right. Adios, amigos, via con Dios, and I don't even know what that is. Other stuff. and got to go home. So I gotta get the fuck out of here. But again, I apologize. Sleepy or not, still my honor, my privilege, and more than anything, my pleasure. So, a lot of Discord now. I'm out this thing. I don't even know why y'all in here still. Go, adios. Let's see if they're gonna be in the Discord, be in that thing. I'm gone.